One of the problems sometimes is that a person who has very serious concerns can come off as being someone who is only concerned about terrible things happening. And on a certain level, sometimes when people come to Scripture, they fail to see the humor that is in Scripture. But one of the things that people really enjoy about Yeshua, especially when you end up getting into looking at Scripture in Aramaic or Hebrew or Greek, is you find that Yeshua had a bad habit. And I'm going to tell you about his bad habit. His bad habit was puns. And indeed, even with the prophets, sometimes you will end up seeing things, and there's a point where God is talking to the prophets, and it doesn't exactly come off in English the way that it is. And sometimes I take it and go, well, you have to kind of work with it so you understand the humor in it. But I want to suggest that anybody who thinks that God is a dour individual who doesn't have a sense of humor hasn't really been exposed to who he actually is. And what you have with Yeshua is, as he is spending time with his disciples, some of his parables, some of the stories, some of the ways he expresses himself, he ends up using puns in the original language. Sometimes what ends up happening is when God is talking to the prophets, he uses word plays. Can you imagine God saying to the prophet, "What do you see, prophet?" And the prophet says, "I see a watch." And God says, "That's because I'm watching over my people." But that is a very loose translation of how God got Jeremiah's attention at one point in time. Likewise, when we're living our lives, I hope that you have jokes. I hope that you have people in your lives who tell puns. I hope you have people in your lives who help you in terms of calling your attention to a variety of different things, because this is a life that is not all serious and all dour. This is a life where there's a lot of fun things that are going on. This is a life that God has created an unnecessary amount of beauty. This is not a place where everything is in shades of gray. But God has created, God has painted, and God has moved through history using vibrancy, using color, creating opportunity for us to discover artistic endeavors, and otherwise brought us to a place of story, a place of humor, a place where we are able to enjoy things being silly, not simply come to a place where everything is dour and terribly, 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 terribly serious. So in the midst of the life that you live, I hope that you have things that bring you joy in this life. I hope that the relationships that you have with people are not all utterly dull, drab, and functional. I hope that in the midst of this, you have people you can laugh with, people that you can cry with, people that you can explore the vast range of human emotion. I hope you have challenges, whether they are challenges created by the world around you or challenges that you yourself create, so that you're going to be able to do amazing things and enjoy the time that you live in. Because there's no guarantee things will always be as they are. Shalom.